friends, welcome to my channel, the Bhasin mathematics classes. This video is extension of my last video which was on algebra. If you haven't checked that video, I will give the link in I button and in the description. You can check that out. For this video, I am covering topics difference between variables and constants, factors in algebra, coefficients, terms of expression, algebraic expression, monomial, binomial, trinomial, polynomial, and constant terms. So let's get started. The first topic of this video is difference between variables and constants. Now variables, as the name suggests, it will vary. A symbol which takes on various numerical value is known as variable. Suppose x is a variable. It can take any value out of 1, 2, 3, any value. Its value is not fixed. So that is why x is a variable. Now for constants, a symbol having a fixed numerical value is called constant. When something is fixed, that means it is constant. I am taking one example to explain you. The diameter d of a circle of radius r. The diameter I am taking as a variable d of a circle of radius I am taking as r is given by formula. I told you in my last video, in algebra, letters help us to generalize the formulas. So this formula for the diameter of the circle of the circle, we can write the formula as diameter is equal to twice the radius in letter form. Now in this, d and r are variables and 2 is a fixed number. 2 is not going to change its value. D will depend, whatever value r will have, d will have the value according to it. So that means d and r will depend upon each other. Their value will vary, one will vary. But 2 will remain fixed. It is not going to change its value. So 2 is fixed number. Therefore it is a constant. 2 is remaining 2 only, it will not change whatever r will be, but d will change according to r. D and r, these are two variables which I have taken in the form of English alphabets. Small d, small r, d for diameter, r for radius, depend upon the size of the circle. Therefore, they may take on various values. I can take small circle, I can take big circle, more than that, more than that. So 2 is remaining fixed in all cases. Diameter of this is twice the radius. So whatever will be the radius, diameter will be twice of it. So that means it is going to vary according to the size of the circle. So that means it is going to change. When something is going to change and it can vary, that means d and r are variables, but 2 is a constant. I am explaining you once again. A symbol which takes on various numerical value. Now d and r are the symbols which can take on various values according to the size of the circle. But a symbol having a fixed numerical value is called constant. Now here 2 is going to remain fixed as 2. Its value is fixed. So it is a constant. D and r are variables. Now I am taking factors in algebra. For the factors, we have when 2 or more numbers. 2 or more numbers and variables. Like I am saying 1 into x into y. It's more than 2. Here we have number also and a variable also. These all are factors. When two or more numbers and variables are multiplied, then each of them is called factor of the product. Here 1 is also a factor, x is also a factor, y is also a factor. Now the difference between 1 and xy is this, that 1 is constant. So it is called numerical factor. Whereas x and y, they are variables, while a variable 1 is called variable factor. What I have done till now, if I am taking the product of two or more numbers and variables, then each of them is called factor of the product. 1 is a constant number. Its value is fixed. We have given it its a value 1. But x and y are going to vary. They are variables. So 1, a constant factor is called numerical factor, while a variable 1 is called variable factor. Now I am taking this example 5x square y. This can be written as 5 into x into x into y. These all are factors. 5 is a constant term. X and y are variables. So y here and x square here are variable factors, while 5 is a numerical factor. In minus xy, we don't have numerical factor here because minus 1 into x into y in algebra can be written as minus xy. So here minus 1 is a numerical factor and x and y are variable factors. So we have two types of factors in algebra. Constant terms are numerical factors, variable ones are called variable factors. Now I am taking coefficients in algebra. For this, I am taking product of numbers and variables. When I am taking product of numbers and variables, that means they are acting as factors. Any factor standing before an algebraic term as a multiplier is called its coefficient. Like I am taking one example, 3a, b, c. This is the product of number and variables. And each of them are acting as a factor here. Any of the factor standing before an algebraic term as a multiplier is called its coefficient. Like I am taking 3abc. For this, if I take abc as an algebraic term, 3 is standing before this term as a multiplier. So 3 is the coefficient of abc. It is a factor. It is standing before it as a multiplier. So 3 is a coefficient. If I take BC as an algebraic term, out of this I am taking only this part. Then 3a is standing in front of it as a multiplier. So 3a will become its coefficient. If I take only C, I am taking C only. Then 3ab is standing before it as a multiplier. So 3ab will be the coefficient of C. Now I am taking different names for them are there in coefficients. I say when one of the factors is arithmetic number, it is always written first. Numbers which are fixed are always written before the algebraic term. They will be the first number. Any numerical number will be the first number and it is always written first and is called numerical coefficient. So this 3 is always come in its first place and it is always called as numerical coefficient. I am taking one more example. In 3xyz, 3 is coming first and it is a numerical coefficient of xyz. If this is a numerical coefficient, well then what is the name for ABC? Now let's take that. When the coefficient is expressed in letters, it is called variable or literal coefficient. So in this example, ABC is a variable coefficient. In this example, XYZ is a variable coefficient. Now for this, I am taking one more example, AXY. If I am asking you what is the coefficient of XY, then I say A is standing. You can see that this AXY. If I am saying what is the coefficient of XY. Now whatever is standing in front of it as a multiplier will be the coefficient. Now since A is standing in front of it, so A will be the literal coefficient of XY. Now there is one twist here. If I have 1x or minus 1x, so here 1 is the coefficient, here in this minus 1 is the coefficient. But in algebra, we don't write this 1x or minus 1x. 1x will be written with its sign only, x. It has positive sign, so this is positive x. We don't write positive also. But here it is minus 1x, so it will become minus x. 1 and minus 1 we are not going to write as a coefficient in algebra. Only their sign matters, and positive sign we don't generally write, so we will use only for minus 1 we write minus x. When a coefficient is plus 1 or minus 1, the number 1 is omitted. 1x is written as x and minus 1x is written as minus x. So in this coefficients we have done, they are the existing as factors in the product of numbers and variables. So these all are acting as a factor here in the product. The factor standing in front of the algebraic term, whatever term we are considering to find the coefficient of, whatever is standing in front of it as a multiplier, that will become its coefficient. If it is a numerical number, it will be numerical coefficient. If it is a variable, it will be literal coefficient or variable coefficient. And 1 and minus 1 is generally omitted, and they are always written with signs. For positive sign we don't write positive x. It will be written as x only. But for minus 1x, I will be writing minus x. Now I am taking algebraic expression. A combination of constants and variables. We are taking constants and variables both, which are connected by any one or more signs. Which signs are there? It is a sign of addition, plus sign. It is a sign of subtraction, minus sign. It is a sign of multiplication, that is multiply sign. It is a sign of division, that is division sign. So there are three things. I am taking constants, I am taking variables, and I am taking signs. They all are connected to form an algebraic expression. For example, 2x minus 3y plus 5z. It is a combination of constants and variables, and they are connected by signs. This is an algebraic expression. Now I'm taking algebraic term. The several parts of an expression connected by the signs plus and minus are called algebraic terms. Why I am taking only plus and minus sign? Why I have not taken multiplication and division sign? Because in this expression you can see that 2x is my first term, minus 3y is my second term, 5z is my third term. They all are connected by either minus or plus sign. But while making the first term, 2 is multiplying with x. Minus 3 is multiplying with y. 5 is multiplying with z. So while making the terms, we will use multiplication and division. But while connecting the terms, we will use only plus or minus sign. Now expression, I am taking this expression 3x minus 4y. How many terms are there? 3x and minus 4y. Now why I am not writing plus 3x? Because in algebra, first term is generally, if it is positive, it is generally written without positive sign. 3x is first term and minus 4y is second term. And this is an algebraic expression which is made up of constants, variables and signs. In this term, 5xy square minus 3z plus 4t square w raised to power 3 has how many terms? First term, second term, third term. Now first is generally written without plus sign. So 5xy square. This is with minus sign, minus 3z. And the third one is 4t square w raised to power 3. So what I have done here, algebraic expression is made up of constants, variables and signs. They all are connecting to each other and making one algebraic expression. And each one of them is called term. This is first term, this is second term, this is third term. And terms are connected by the sign of addition and subtraction. And the third important thing which you have to remember is, if the first number is positive, if the first term is positive, we don't write positive sign. But with negative term, we need to write minus sign. Now I am telling you what are monomial, binomial, trinomial and polynomial. For monomial, I take an expression which consists of only one term. An algebraic expression which has only one term. No other term is connected to it using addition or subtraction sign. That is called monomial. Like 2x. No other term is connected to it. 5x square y. No other term is connected to it. They both are monomial. Now binomial, it is an algebraic expression which consists of, bi means 2, which consists of two terms like 3x plus 5. Now it has two terms connected by the sign of plus. The other term I am taking is, expression I am taking is minus 2y plus 7. They both are having a positive sign in between them. There are two terms connected to each other using a positive sign. So there are two terms making a binomial. Now I am taking trinomial. An expression consisting of three terms like 2 plus x minus y. They are three terms which are connected to each other using positive or minus sign. So that's why it is making a trinomial. Now what is polynomial? An expression which consists of two or more terms is called polynomial. That means binomial, which has two terms, and trinomial is also a polynomial. Monomial means one term, binomial means two terms, trinomial means three terms, polynomial, any expression consisting of two or more terms is called polynomial. I am taking constant term. A term having no literal or variable factor. That means only number is there. It has no variable attached to it which is multiplying with it. It's constant term. Like in this 3x plus 5. We have 5 which has no literal or variable factor. That is why 5 is a constant term. We have two terms here. 3x is first term, 5 is second term. But this has a variable factor attached to it. 3x has a variable factor attached to it. So it is not a constant term. While 5 has no variable factor attached to it, that's why 5 is called as constant term. Now I am taking few questions to explain you further about it. Write algebraic expression with terms. What I have to write? I have to write algebraic expression whose terms are given to me. What are the terms? I know terms are connected using sign, and when there is no sign in front of the term, that means it has positive sign. Now 2a, what is the second term? Minus 3b. So it will come here minus 3b. What is my third term? Minus 4c. So my third term will be minus 4c. So this is my algebraic expression. I had been given terms which I have connected using their signs. Now write down, in the second question I am taking, write down separately the terms of, I had been given expression. I have to write down the terms separately. For the first term, I have positive sign. So I will be writing it as 5b c square. This is my first term. Second term has minus sign. So I will write comma to write the second term, minus 2ab. Third term again has positive sign. So I will write it without sign, 7a square c. So these are my three terms which were connected to make this algebraic expression. Now my third question is, identify the monomial and binomial. Monomial means which has single term, and binomial means which has two terms. So can you find out which one is monomial, which has one term? The first one is monomial because it has only one term. It is not connected with any other term. Binomial, 2x plus 1. This is connected with a constant term. 1 is a constant term here. So this is binomial. One term means monomial, two terms means binomial. Now my last question is, write the coefficient first part, x in 13x. I told you, if I am taking x as an algebraic term, whatever is standing in front of it as a multiplier, that will be its coefficient. Here in front of x, because he is asking, write the coefficient of x in 13x. So I need to take x as an algebraic term. In front of it 13 is standing. So 13 is my coefficient. And I told you when only number is there, that is called numerical coefficient. In my second part, is asking me coefficient of y square in 8x y square z. I need to separate y square and I need to find the term which is multiplying with it to find its coefficient. Now how I will do? I am writing 8x z into y square. Now I have separated y square from it. Whatever has been left, that I have written here. 8xz. So my coefficient of y square is 8xz. And this is the having numerical part and variable part. So this will be my variable coefficient or literal coefficient. So this was all about, and I have given you some examples also. You can try further. If you have any problem, you can leave that in comments below and I will take that in further videos. Thank you for your support. Please like, share and subscribe my channel Bhasin Mathematics Classes. Keep sharing, keep learning, and please keep sharing my videos and commenting them so that I get to know what you are learning from it, what are other problems which you are facing. I will make videos on such topics. Thank you.